everybody. Good morning and happy Fun Friday to you. I'm Jessica Dugas, your host, and this is Project Joy Live. It's your triple shot of good vibes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at the 9 a.m. Eastern Time hour. So, I want to start off this episode by sharing a little bit from my heart. So, Wednesday, I came on for what I really hoped would be a deep conversation about joy in community and some of the challenges I've faced in community and the joy that has come out of those challenges. And this is all on the front porch of the World Building Expo coming up next Tuesday, September 9th. It's an all-day event sponsored by the Global Business Plaza. And this is the Breakthrough Show Network's sixth time participating in the expo. Now, I have shared very openly on my shows in the past about how, I've had a lot of challenges throughout the years with my health, and it's been a journey. I think if we're being truthful with ourselves, it's been a journey for all of us where our relationship and our body wellness is concerned, but some people may have had more challenges than others. And long story short, if you were on in the comments or watched the replay of Wednesday's episode, you may have seen that I went to commercial and the show ended very abruptly. That is because Wednesday was the first time since 2019 that I have had to end a show abruptly because I simply had a health crisis behind the scenes. There was something that going on with me. I'll just leave it at that. That was off, and I needed to get off camera immediately and make sure to take care of myself. Now, it's interesting because at the start of the day, I had put I had a Facebook story where I was feeling good overall that morning. And I had my makeup done. I was getting ready for the show, excited, like I said, to talk about community on the show that day. And I had done a Facebook story where I just wanted to be encouraging. And I was talking about how we'd made it halfway through the week. Let's take a breath together because I believe there's something powerful in that. And then it was less than an hour later that happened to me, and I had to end the show. And I really, it's hard for me to have to do, but at the same time, I have gone through my entire life dealing with things like this, and I know how to sort of handle it in the moment. And so later on that day, excuse me, after I had gotten a little bit of rest, I decided to do an 8-part story on Facebook where I was just sharing my heart about what had happened, and there was many layers to that. I started off by saying that I didn't want a bunch of messages saying, hey, what's going on? You should be resting. What is the matter? I didn't want a pity party, and I didn't want an inquiry of questions, no matter who it was from. I just didn't want that because it doesn't serve me in the moment. And while I understand people, can get concerned or whatever, I assured everyone in that message that I'm okay. I just needed to take time for myself. So, and of course, that was that was not really respected, but that's a conversation for another day. So, and then I went on to share about how, social media, you're only getting a piece of people's lives. And so often we can look into somebody's lives and say, oh, they've got it easy, or this must come so simply to them. And, oh, their life is so good. They've got it all together. I don't know how she does it or he does it or whatever. And social media is sort of a liar in that way. And the irony in that sentiment is that the remedy for that is actually community. Because what happens when you're in community is that you get to know each other on a deeper level. you get to know some of those stories of how someone got to where they are, and you get to know why people click the way they click. And so it's sort of ironic in a situation that, uh, you know, that's how we solve that issue of social media being a liar, is that we get to know each other on a deeper level when we choose to be a part of a real community. And so I wanted to assure everyone that I'm good. I'm working through, still got a little bit of a linger in this stuff I have going on. I've got my tea here, but I'm good. I'm working through the things that I have been both challenged and blessed with in this life. And hopefully that was a one off and we won't have to deal with that again for a little while. And so we will see what happens. But I just wanted to thank everyone in my community, in my very well curated support circle, for your support and love and encouragement, and in respecting the boundaries that I have put forth regarding this topic of my health journey, and respecting that I don't want it to be my story. Do you know what I mean by that? I don't need it to be my story. It could be a page in the very long book of my life, but I have no desire for it to be the thing that I talk about all the time, or anything that holds me back from this life, because that's just not who I am. And so I appreciate those who respected my boundaries, and also sent me love and all of that. You're appreciated more than you know. All of that said, I wanted to make sure to get that out of the way first thing. I am very excited because I have a co-host on today's show, boys and girls. Um, this is our first week back in a little while, so it's been a minute since this co-host was on for one of our Fun Friday shows. She is one of my older, no, I guess technically she's like right in the middle. There's two in the middle, like, because if you have six children, where exactly is the middle? There isn't, like, it's like half a child or something. I don't know. There's like no one right in the middle. But she's sort of in the middle. She's one of my teenagers, and we love having her here for that teen perspective. So, as we get into our joy versation today, let me know what's bringing you joy, and please help me welcome my daughter, Marjean Dugas, back to the show. Marjean,
Hi.
glad to have you back today. Have you had a nice vacation from co-hosting with mom for a few months?
No, I actually really missed it. I missed being on here. It was fun.
Well, everybody loves when you come on and when Leah comes on, and we get to have sort of a fun fun family moment. Um, and you've had a little glow up since the last time you've been on here. You really, I mean, dyed your whole hair for the first time.
Yeah,
The
blue
whole
black.
thing.
I've always wanted to dye my hair like full color, but I don't know. I feel like it was like scary because like you can't really go back too much on that. But I mean, if anything, my hair still grows out if I didn't like a color, and I can always change it. So
Yeah. It's very true. I mean, I've told you stories before about, growing up, and my mom was a hairdresser and my grandmother owned a beauty salon, and so I grew up in sort of the hair world. And I was never discouraged from sort of doing different things to my hair, because you're right, it'll grow out, it'll be fine, everybody will be okay.
hmm
And worst comes to worst, we have amazing hairdressers in our lives, like Corey from Mirror Image Salon over in Galesbury, Connecticut, who, can help us.
yeah,
should we should we have a hair mishap, she can help us out with that. But you had a good time with your friend, and you guys were dyeing each other's hair and having a
yeah,
fun girl moment, right?
yeah. It was a lot of fun, and honestly, like I'm glad we didn't mess up really at all. Like the first thing she said, she was like, "Let's put trash bags on the floor." I'm like, "That's smart." Yeah.
I mean, thank you. See, this proves a point, boys and girls, because Marjean's friend that she did hair with is also homeschooled too. So y'all think that homeschool kids don't have the sense. You are mistaken. They put trash bags on the floor, guys.
Quite smart.
Very smart. Okay, so let's get into our joy conversation. By the way, I want to say hello. Miss Brittany is here. She says, hi, Marjean. Danielle is here this morning. Good morning, Danielle. Brittany said, I dyed my hair black once, but it looks great on you. Notice how she didn't comment on how the black looked on her. I
See?
dyed my hair black once, ... But it looks great on you. I never dyed my hair black. I never went that dark, I don't think. I've done all sorts of colors, and I've definitely been blonde several times. In fact, I was blonde naturally as a child, which is wild with how dark my hair is now. But and then your brother, can we just talk about that anomaly for a minute? When my oldest, Marjean's older brother Clay, was a child, Clay had bleach blonde hair. I mean,
It was not cute. It was not cute.
Okay, let's keep our opinions to the side here. I want to talk about how the hell this happened. So it was blonde, and then it got darker as he got older, and that was what happened with me as well. And then he wanted his hair lighter again, so we had gotten it bleached it a couple times. It always had started to grow out, right? It was darker, and then we would bleach it again or whatever. It's been a long time. He has not bleached his hair, and somehow his hair is blonde now. Again.
Yeah, I don't know the science behind that, but no, that's okay. I thought he bleached it when he came here.
No,
because it looked patchy like a little bit, but
no,
I think it was just color.
Nope,
color difference.
Yeah, no, that's his natural hair. Isn't that crazy? Don't really know what happened there. Don't have any idea. Maybe we bleached it too much. Maybe it's stuck now. Maybe he has bleached like in his scalp.
It's in his follicles.
No. Oh no. All right. Our joy conversation today, because we're going to be talking about spooky things here today. The joy and the spooky, scary, and weird. What is something considered spooky that you find joy in? And I will let you go first as our audience chimes in today.
I think in like a lot of different horror movies that I've seen, like in Scream, how Matthew Lillard is always so hilarious, but he can still portray a really terrifying character. Or I don't know the name of the guy who plays Terrifier, but whoever plays Art the Clown, you know, he makes joy and everything. Like he makes silly jokes, and he doesn't even talk in the movies, but he'll do like really hilarious things. And I think that's kind of what makes those movies not so scary to me, because they find a way to make people laugh.
So Art the Clown is played by David Howard Thornton, and he looks way different without his makeup than I thought he would have. By the way, somebody said, Joanne's here this morning. Good morning, Joanne. She said, if you want an honest opinion, just ask your daughter. And that is the truth. She is the one. I'm just going to put that out there. So now I'm down a rabbit hole. Is Terrifier the Clown based on a true story? No, it is not. Okay. Anyway.
That would be terrifying.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And so I agree with you about the movies. I enjoy a spooky movie that has those humorous moments. And speaking of Matthew Lillard, which we're going to touch on that in a few minutes, when he was in 13 Ghosts, which I've talked about on this show before, that is one of my favorite, scariest movies of all time. One, because I like the story. I don't like a scary movie for the sake of being a scary movie. I need it to have a story. And the second thing is that I like those humor moments so that I'm not literally just scared the whole time and that's it.
Yeah.
So there's this moment in 13 Ghosts, and it's horrible, but it cracks me up at the same time.
I think I know what you're
Remember where there's a really like a snaky, annoying lawyer in the film who is you're just annoyed with the whole time.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where he tries to be slick and go do something behind the scenes, and the clear door literally cuts him in half. And there and no but nobody knows where he went. He's alone when this happens, so nobody sees that happen. And uh later on, somebody goes, I wonder where he went, and the girl says, I think the lawyer split. And it was just like it was just this moment of like, okay, that was really funny. Uh, because he did, like, literally and figuratively split. Anyway, so I like those little humorous moments because I don't like to just be scared the whole time. I like to for it to have like a good story. I like to laugh and all of those things. Other than movies itself, and y'all make sure you chime in on there. Is there anything spooky, considered spooky, that you find joy in? Other than the movies, is there any like other things that people might think are spooky that bring you joy?
That's hard to say. I mean, I guess like really like I've seen videos of haunted houses and stuff, and I feel like being scared like that is kind of funny. Like people scaring you, because it makes me laugh because I'm like, why did I freak out like that? Nothing was actually going to happen.
That is true. That is true. I mean, it's interesting to us where you wonder where the fear comes from of certain things.
Hmm.
Um, and and like what were we talking about the other day? And I'm trying to remember if you were there for that conversation or not. But we were talking about how when you were little, you used to catch the wolf
Oh
spiders. Were you there when we were talking about this? You used to
yeah.
catch the wolf spiders in the jar, but now are you afraid of spiders now, or what's the deal with that?
I don't mind like seeing spiders on things, like if it's a photo, but I don't like when they're near me. And I don't like when people talk about them because then I feel them crawling on me, and
Oh, yeah.
it's
And so it's interesting, how do you go from catching them in a jar and being fascinated by them to,
I
like,
mean,
don't talk about them because I can feel them crawling on me?
it's the same question of why did I eat a butter stick as a kid? I don't know. I have no idea. Like I like the idea of it now grosses me out. Like why?
Yeah.
Where did that come from? And I feel bad for the spiders. They were probably scared of me. Catching them, keeping their family in my house.
Right.
That's crazy to me. Like they're probably scared of me.
I
I'm so scared.
that's the truth of it, is that they probably are scared of you. And I try to discern a little bit now between like, um is this a poison? I try to think about it before I react. Like, is this a poisonous spider? Is this something that is going to hurt me in some kind of way? Um, because before just jumping to killing it, because some spiders do amazing things,
Hmm.
you know. And Danielle said no, she does not enjoy being scared at all. But I think there's other things that we associate with being spooky that aren't necessarily scary. I think spooky and scary are two very different things. I don't necessarily enjoy being scared either, but I like spooky season. I like pumpkins and pumpkin patches
Hmm.
and scarecrows, and I like the fall season in general. We just talked about this on the Monday show, and Danielle's like, "Nope, I'm out on the spiders. It's not happening." Um so yeah, it's interesting to think about where our fears and stuff come from. And so I think it was Leah we were talking to about the whole
Yeah.
spider thing, and she was saying that she's so afraid of spiders and it came from nowhere. And I said, no, it has to come from somewhere because you're not just automatically afraid of things. A lot of times
Mhm.
it's because you see something in a movie, a video, you see somebody else go through something, and that can shift things for
Yeah.
us. But at any rate, so nobody has anything today in the comments that they like for a spooky. I'm surprised. It's Danielle's like it's all the legs for me.
I think like spiders are really cute, like the really fluffy ones. And I think that comes from me watching Lucas the spider as a kid. However, um, I think
Trying to
so
swallow.
like they're also I think they're scary because of the teeth, but at the same time I can't even say that because I see snakes and I've seen people get bitten by them and I love snakes. Like I'm obsessed with snakes. I have snake earrings and snake like I love snakes so much. They're so cute. I think it's just the eyes and the way their like nose is. Oh, where'd you go?
I can't with the snake conversation. I can't do it.
No, but like the way their nose is shaped, like the snout part, they're so cute.
Okay, I can't.
No,
I
and like
can't do it.
the different colors of them are really like cool too. How some of them are like this blue color, or some of them can be pink, or some of them can be orange. Like the different variations of the colors are really cool to me too.
Okay. Brittany said those little mini jumping spiders are so cute with their little eyes. Yeah, those little ones are cute, but I just don't want them to jump on me.
I don't kill the little tiny ones because like they're tiny. I don't really care.
Yeah, there's certain ones that are like I don't know that I would say cute. I would be like, they're interesting.
How fascinating.
They're
Yeah.
fascinating. Yeah, they're like that's cool.
Yeah, like we
I
were
don't
literally looking at a worm outside yesterday. Jazzy was like, I'm so hypnotized right now. I'm like,
but see
"Girl."
what you're talking about with Lucas the spider is part of the problem with this world. We have Disney sized uh so many things like because of Disney we feel like we can sing to animals and they're going to clean our house.
I wish.
I mean, I'm highly disappointed by that. That was more
Mhm.
disappointing to me growing up than the concept that some prince from a far off land was going to sweep us off our feet. I'm more disappointed about the lack of singing and cleaning animals in this world.
Mhm. See, because the whole Prince thing is such a lie too. You got to do all the work now. That's crazy.
Um, Danielle said, so bats are scary, right? Especially when they're flying towards your head at night when you're walking to your chicken coop. But I've seen videos and they're actually really kind of cute. Let me say something about that.
I love bats. They're cute, in my opinion. I love bats.
That's because you were not awake when they tried to harass us in the middle of the night when there were two of them in our living room.
Okay, but like they're still really cute. And I wasn't even scared when that was going on. I'm like, why'd they close the door? They're cute. They're not gonna hurt you if you don't hurt them. Like
They could, because some of us grew up with the real queen of scream, Dee Wallace, by the way, who has been on the Breakthrough Show with me, by the way, with Dee Wallace in the movie It, where it's the opening scene is a bat that is rabid and bites the dog. So then the dog is rabid and terrorizes the whole town.
see, at least that didn't happen with Stuffles. Like she didn't go rabid. She didn't terrorize the town.
Could you imagine a rabid rabbit?
Yes, I could actually.
And I'm especially freaked out now because we already had the bat incident and then now they have found all these rabid animals. Have you heard about this, Danielle, by the way? Because I bet that they're up by you. There's been like several rabid animals found in the state of Connecticut recently. There was a raccoon, a deer, and I can't
Oh, I saw the
even
deer.
I can't even grasp that in my head. What a rabid deer would look / behave like. That sounds scary
Oh,
as
someone has a video
hell
from
to me.
another. Someone has a video from another place. I don't remember where it was at, but someone has a video of a
Now I'm
rabbit
gonna have to
deer.
go
Its
look at
eyes are like red, and it
it.
no,
That's gotta be made up.
it wasn't like red, but it had like a different like color, not on its eye, but like around the eye a little bit.
It had bags. It was up too late. It's a vampire
It
deer.
didn't sleep. It was scary though, but like, I mean,
This is another conversation, Brittany. I sing to the animals and they run off. By the way, Sarah Roccasano, my ice cream date girl here in Connecticut, she has had squirrels and raccoons coming up and sharing breakfast with her in the morning.
she is Snow White. I just can't prove that.
Literally. They just come up and I'm sitting here going, again, I have been traumatized by the movie It. I'm like, what if that raccoon was rabid and didn't want the grape that you were holding out to and just came and bite you?
But what if it didn't?
What if it didn't? But I can't go there. My what ifs are going in the wrong direction when it comes to this conversation. Brittany said, I remember my mom screaming with a broom in her hand in the middle of the night because there was a bat in the house. I thought that I was hallucinating that night. I thought, here we go. I'm going to go down the street to the hospital into the padded room. I thought it was happening. I thought this was it for me. I
Okay,
shut the door. You know, in a movie when someone thinks that they saw something, but they're not really sure what they saw and they blink real hard and they like squeeze their eyes real. That's literally what I did. I saw something fly by my head and I shut the door and thought to myself, self, it's all downhill from here. It's time for medication and a padded room. And I blinked real hard and I slowly opened the door back up and they were still there. Anyway,
well,
we need to go to commercial break. We need to go to commercial break, everybody. We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home. Where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. Today is Fun Friday, everybody. September 5th, 2025. I can't believe we're almost a week through September already. We're about to go. We have one more finish this month and we'll be in the third quarter of the year, which is officially spooky season. We were talking about on Monday's show when the different seasons actually start. And so there's some differing opinions as to when it is appropriate to start the apple picking pumpkin spice nonsense. In your educated teen opinion, when is it appropriate to start celebrating spooky season?
Whenever the weather is breezy or whenever the leaves start changing. Because that started happening like in August when the leaves in front of our house were changing. I was like, it's fall. It's getting cold out. Let's call it a day for summer. I don't like summer. I only like summer when we're like at the beach all the time. Personally.
I am not drinking anymore on this show. Look, a yellow leaf. It's fall. Guys.
See all the real leaves in the background, the real life trees I have right now.
Yeah.
The living, breathing
Those
trees.
are real living, breathing trees.
It's the real thing.
Yeah, I my litmus test for when it's time for spooky season is when Clyde Cider Mill opens here, in Mystic, and it had a soft opening last weekend. So I was like, done. There it is.
Go on Sunday.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I'm like you. I'm not the biggest fan of the summer. I love summer here because we live so close to the beach.
Mhm.
I love that there's a lot of bands and beach time and friends and family and all of these yummy things that happen in the summer. I am not a fan of the heat. So I feel like we can be excited for spooky season and be grateful that it's not freezing cold
Mhm.
at the same time. Like we could, because I know how Danielle feels about the cold weather, and we're not going to go there because that in itself is spooky for Danielle. And she just said she doesn't like to be scared, so we're not going to talk about the cold weather. Oh my God, you went last weekend and you said nothing.
Should have said something. I would have went. Uh-oh.
Moving on.
Off the bell.
Yes, I know, to the cider mill. I'm upset now. Anyway, moving on. So one of the things that's amazing that happened to you, earlier this year, I would say this was probably a highlight of your life, was getting to meet someone very amazing. So we're going to talk about that here in just a moment. A couple people.
Quite a few.
Amazing. And but before we do that, we are going to premiere something very special for all the people this morning. I'm going to swap over here. If you didn't know, we are approaching the World Building Expo coming up next Tuesday. And it's September 9th. It's all day, and we are featured in the World Building Expo as a I'm going to be a panelist on the community discussion, and we have lots of good stuff going on. But Marjean, like our other co-hosts on the network, have an office in our virtual community. And she was like, hey, Ma. That's what she's texted me, you guys, by the way. Ma. We need a fall upgrade to the office. And you guys know, listen, well, maybe you don't know, but I'm going to tell you about it right now. I am a person who cannot just do things half-assed. I like to do things with my full ass. And so with that, we had to give her not only a little fall makeover to her office, but a whole, like this, she could go back and forth between seasons and holidays and all these things. So I started a project with her. And so without further ado, here is the fall upgrade to Marjean's virtual office. Ready? Let's count it down, Marjean. 3, 2, 1. Ta-da!
I'm just there for the candy corn. Honestly.
I had to upgrade that, by the way, because the candy that was in the dish didn't look good. So I was like, it was nasty. So I had to fix it. But we still have the Hello Kitty theme. We still have a fall version of the Connecticut coastline out the window. We have some lovely spider web drapes in the room. We have pumpkins, of course. And there are some very cool things in her office. So when you click Hello Kitty, you can watch It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
One of the best Halloween movies ever.
If you click this pumpkin, You've got some fall lo-fi beats. And if you click this pumpkin, you could see the entire Scream cast reunion, a full panel discussion, which we were blessed to be able to see and hear at 90s Con earlier.
Very, very blessed, very
Tell the,
amazing.
tell the people about what you experienced there.
Like at the panel or the whole thing in
Yeah,
general?
the whole thing, but the in particular as it relates to our spooky season discussion.
So we went into the panel, and all of them were, of course, extremely funny. I think the ones who cracked the most jokes though were Skeet and Matthew. And I always forget what his name is, but he's the one in the movie who's like, this is how you have to, do this to survive.
That's Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah, I almost got the shirt at 90s Con, but I couldn't pay for it, so I didn't get it. But it was really, really funny.
Love it. And who are we seeing on the screen here, Marjean?
Skeet Ulrich, my bestie now. We're like,
so you got to meet Skeet Ulrich. She was in the Scream movies. And then you and your sister had a group moment.
yeah. Matthew's pose is amazing. It's gorgeous.
Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich, and like I said, I've loved Matthew Lillard for years, in so many different things. But you got to know him through Scream, and then more recently through Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, he was really good in that movie too. I feel like he still brings like comedy into a lot of things in that movie, and he's still also playing like a scary character. So.
Yeah.
Which you don't expect. Like in Scream, you couldn't quite expect it either because he was just like that funny dude. But him and Stu and Billy would always crack like jokes in the movie that kind of make you think like, oh, maybe, that's who it is. Which he would kind of do in the Five Nights at Freddy's movie as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And speaking of Matthew Lillard, one of the other places we know him from, of course, is as Shaggy in Scooby-Doo.
That's where I knew him first.
Yeah. So we had this whole moment. There's your sisters with Dad and Matthew Lillard, who this is, 90s Con started out to be your mom's thing. It was my thing. I'm such a huge 90s holic, 80s holic. I love that 80s and 90s eras. And so I really thought it was going to be like driving Miss Dugas, that Dad would come to drive me to 90s Con and he would take some photos from me. But he gets in there with these celebrities and has a whole moment. When I saw Jason Priestley last time, which I could probably on the fly really quickly here. Let's talk about Mr. Blue Eyes is what I'm calling him forever and ever. Amen. Because his eyes are like you could fall right in them and go swimming.
Oh, like Damon Salvatore.
I'm truly. And these two gentlemen here talked about hockey for 10 minutes. All I want to do is be like, let's talk about 90210.
Yeah.
No. The two Canadians had to stand there for 10 minutes talking about hockey. That's what that was about. Anyway, this is not about spooky season, so I'm going to digress. But so yes, Shaggy, Scooby-Doo, Matthew Lillard was amazing. Another person that was there to go into or people that were there were the cast of we had some people from Charmed there.
Mm-hmm.
We had and then I got to meet Christine Taylor, who I saw last time from Hey Dude. Mm-hmm. But then this time she was there for The Craft, which she had a little bit of a smaller role in The Craft. But that's another movie that I really like because I feel like it had a good storyline.
Mm-hmm.
It's that's I really enjoy the craft. Every Nev Campbell, the whole deal, and everybody was really upset because Nev Campbell was supposed to be there at 90s Con for Scream and the craft.
Yeah.
But then she had to cancel, and everybody was pissy. But then they got Matthew Lillard, and everybody was happy again. So
Yeah, I saw everybody was hogging his line.
yeah, that was a vibe. But the interesting thing about Christine Taylor is she's been in so many movies where she's played like sort of the good girl or really nice and kind.
Mhm.
And I feel like she really hasn't been in all that much where she showcases the side of kind of the bee that she was in the craft. And so it was really cool to get to meet her and talk to her because she has that nice girl vibe in person. She was so sweet and wonderful. So what was your experience with Skeet, and like how did he come off, and like let's dish, what did you guys talk about?
So I thought like everybody there was kind of gonna be like rushy, kind of, because at the end of the day, like that was the last day he was going to be there, and it was literally ending when I went up to see him. And I thought he was just gonna like picture and then go, because that's what happened with Matthew, because the day was ending and there was still like a bunch of people in Matthew's line, and there was a couple people in Skeet's, but I went up and he was super polite and everything else. And we had like a whole conversation about how all of his characters like helped me a lot. And because I watched him in a lot of different stuff. I only remember the two names of the Scream movies and um, Riverdale, which I picked out the photo in Riverdale when I got it signed, because that's the funeral for um, I literally forgot his name in the show, but his
Luke
dad
Perry.
was, yeah. So that's who played the one guy's dad in it, and they had a funeral for him in the show. So I picked out that photo because I wouldn't have gotten to meet him when we were there because he passed away. So that's why I picked that photo. And he was like, "This is a really nice photo." And so he was really surprised though that I like knew him from Riverdale and Scream and stuff like that, which
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're both popular.
Well, and that's what I one of the things that I love about 90s Con too is how so many of these different worlds collide together. You know, 90210, the cast of 90210 was there. Obviously, the last time the cast of 90210 was there, Shannon Doherty was with them, and obviously she wasn't there this time because she had passed away. But this time at 90s Con, the cast of Charmed was there, which Shannon Doherty would have been there, and then obviously the cast of 90210 was there, and that would have had Luke Perry, that would have also tied in with Skeet Ulrich and Riverdale, and you know, that sort of thing. So it's very cool to me how these worlds sort of collide, and I'm so glad that we were able to have that experience as a family because even though you guys did, you know, we were the ones that grew up in the 80s and 90s,
Yeah.
that these things have not only come back around to where we've sat and watched episodes of Step by Step and, you know, Family Matters, and Julia White was there last time, who, by the way, is fine in person. That's all I'm going to say. That's another show, guys. But you know, all these shows that we've watched in episodes of 90210 together, and Hey Dude, and you know, movies like we've seen there, and so we've watched those old ones, but a lot of them have come back, very similar to how we were talking about with Matthew Lillard, where now he's in Five Nights at Freddy's, and that's kind of a thing with the kids now. And so getting to like see it in a new light, but like, hey, I knew them like 25 years ago, like 30 years ago, you know, like way back. And so it's a cool experience. The next one is coming up the weekend, I think, of the 11th, 12th, and 13th, or maybe it's 12, 13, 14. Anyway, it's that weekend in March 2026. We already have VIP tickets, and I'm so freaking pumped because, and we don't even know who's going to be there. We've had an announcement that the cast of Step by Step is coming back, And there's some other people that are coming back as well. And so we're going to talk more about that when Danielle is on the show at the end of the month. So definitely tune in for that. I'm hoping they'll have some more announcements by then too, but I'm excited for Step by Step to come back because I got to meet Stacy Keenan, and again, it was a similar situation two 90s cons ago with you and Skeet, where it was the end of the day, like the last day, everybody was sort of leaving, and Stacy and I stood there and talked for like at what felt like forever. I mean, we really had such a beautiful conversation, and she's wonderful and so sweet and so incredibly smart and all of these things that she played in Step by Step. And if you want to go back even further, she played in My Two Dads, which that show was a whole vibe too. But anyway, that concludes our conversation, boys and girls, about spooky season and all the amazing things coming our way in the fall season. It's time to do birthdays. You ready, Marjean?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
Happy birthday to you.
All right, guys. So in the birthdays today, we have Freddie Mercury, who passed away in 1991, the lead Queen. We loved some Freddie Mercury. It is also Kat Graham's birthday, as Marjean pointed out, 36 years old today. You want to tell the people where you know Kat Graham from?
Miss Bonnie Bennett from Vampire Diaries, the best witch ever in any show. She's my favorite. Known her since I was 10 years old.
Ties right into spooky season. Michael Keaton, 74, who, I don't care what you say, the best Batman on the face of the planet. Michael Keaton was just it.
See, but I'm like more of a Joker person, though.
Yeah, well, we like the character, but if we're going to talk about Batman, it's got to be Michael Keaton. I'm sorry. That's just the way of the world. He's 74 today, by the way. Amazing. Also, since we're talking about Scream and Charmed and all of these amazing things, Rose McGowan, actress, is 52 years old today. And you were saying what about the fact that she's 52?
She does not look 52. She looked so much younger than that when we were at 90s Con this year. Like, and her outfits were so beautiful and amazing and gorgeous. And off topic, even though I didn't get to meet Ian, I got to say hi to him and everything when he walked past me while you guys were doing photos and stuff, I think.
And you got an autograph from Rose McGowan, right? But not a picture? Or did you not talk to her?
I didn't see her. I literally forgot what her name was. She's the other one that's in it. Because she was in Pretty Little Liars, and I love that show, and she plays the mom in it. But I forgot what her name was.
Oh. I'm having a moment.
Because she was in Charmed, and she was in Pretty Little Liars.
I know who you're talking about, but it's just not. It's
not. It's the name. I forgot.
It's gone. Anyway, happy birthday, Rose McGowan. Back on topic. Who else do we have for birthdays today? I think that's literally all the people I know. I'm trying to go and see if there's anybody else that I'm missing because, a lot of times they put these TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube stars up, and I don't know who these people are. I really don't. But in the celebrities in my life, Jenny Visser has a birthday today. And also recently, a couple more Breakthrough alum had birthdays. Haley Halleck and Juliet Stapleton had birthdays as well. So happy birthday to all those that are celebrating or have recently. You ready to get our birthday song on?
Maybe.
Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all of the amazing people that I said. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all those that are celebrating. I hope you are set up to have an amazing day, or you've had an amazing day. I just say keep celebrating, because why not?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Let's talk about what's coming up. All right, guys, we're about to head right into virtual co-working happening in our virtual community. It's no surprise that virtual co-working would be happening in a virtual community. But you can head to the breakthroughshownetwork.club and join us for that. Check in 4 minutes from now. And then also, if you have not done it yet, I want you to go over and register for some of the amazingness that is the World Building Expo. I just put all of the information or the link down in the comments for you guys. But yours truly is going to be featured on the Power of Community and Business panel happening on Tuesday, September 9th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. But fun fact, we will be there from 10 to 10 Eastern Time that day, showcasing all of our amazing spaces, premiering our brand new Discovery Escape Room, which I'm so excited that most of my hosts were there for the premiere of that space. I'm really excited about that. You can scan the QR code to take you directly to register for this incredible event. Don't miss it, especially if you're an entrepreneur. This is going to be the space for you for networking and to learn more about new ways for you to be visible in your work that you do. So come and join us for that. Anything else you want to leave the people with today, Marjean?
Even if it's raining outside or you're sad, you're going to have an amazing day. And you're so amazing yourself.
There it is. Join me this afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern Time for an all-new episode of The Breakthrough Show, coming back with author Tish Robbie. She has written for the likes of Dr. Seuss and Blue's Clues and lots of big names, but she's also an author and publisher of several of her own children's books. And we're really excited to have her back on the network and first time on The Breakthrough Show. I'm Jessica Dugas. This is Marjean Dugas, and we will remind you to make joy a priority in your life today and every day. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
And I've been lifting myself up, yeah,